Hello, I'm Spencer Thomason for Project Southwest, and thanks for joining me for Get to Know Your Neighbor, the show where I talk one-on-one with interesting and influential people from all around Southwest Virginia. Today, I'm joined by Kim Short. She's a real estate agent and marketing coordinator for Heart of Appalachia Tourism Authority. She's born and raised in Southwest Virginia and is full of ideas of things for people to see and do in the region. All right, let's get to it. Here's my conversation with Kim Short. Joining me now from the Heart of Appalachia Tourism Authority is Kim Short. She's the marketing coordinator there. How are you doing this morning, Kim?
I'm doing great, Spencer. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. And I'm just going to ask you a few questions about the Heart of Appalachia Tourism Authority and about your experiences growing up there in Southwest Virginia. Is that cool?
That sounds great.
All right, awesome. So what is the Heart of Appalachia Tourism Authority and what do y'all do over there?
The Heart of Appalachia Tourism Authority was formed by the state of Virginia in 1993. And basically, Spencer, the state recognized the fact that we have a very special region here. And when you cross over into the Clinch River Valley, it's a very diverse, very different kind of landscape, very mountainous. We have the rivers, and we have just so much outdoor recreation. And the state recognized the value of the region. So they formed Heart of Appalachia to actually market the region as an outdoor destination or as a tourism destination overall. And we do that through so many different means. We do it through social media. We do it through trade shows. More recently, we've been doing our marketing more on a more regional level, just because COVID has more people kind of unsure about travel. So we've really taken a step back and we have kind of looked at our tourism marketing from a more regional standpoint. And that has worked out really well because, you know, in the past, we may have overlooked a little bit the importance of letting our neighbors know exactly what we have going on and what they can get out and do in their own backyards.
And what counties do you all represent?
Oh, you're going to ask me to list the counties.
Oh, you don't have to. So this is far Southwest Virginia. This is beyond.
It is far Southwest Virginia. We cover the 7 coalfield counties, which are Buchanan, Dickinson, Russell, Tazewell, Wise, Scott, and Lee, and the city of Norton. I always joke about not listing them on TV because, you know, if I leave somebody out, I'm just in trouble.
Gotcha. So what are some of the main experiences that people can do there in the region?
A lot of what we focus on is outdoor recreation. We have the Clinch River, which is one of the most biodiverse rivers in North America. And we have several river outfitters that have actually popped up. We had a couple last year, but people this year have recognized the importance of those outfitter businesses. So we can promote the river, but we really need things to do on the river. So we have several outfitters. There's one in Honaker now. There's several in St. Paul. We have several in Scott County. Over in the Duffield area, and they're just, you know, they're just working it. They're doing a really good job. They're putting a lot of people on the river, and some of them actually have a more educational component involved as well, so that the people who are floating the river can actually do guided trips and learn more about the river and the area in general as they float the river.
I actually met with a person from Stone Mountain Adventures from Norton. And we're going to go out and do some mountain biking and kayaking and tubing and all sorts of things. So it's not just river activities that people can do out there. It's also hiking trails and mountain biking. And I know in St. Paul, ATV riding is a huge deal over there. How did that start up?
Well, the state of Virginia also created the Spearhead Trails organization. And Spearhead Trails is, they're tasked with actually tying these trails to the downtowns. So there's the tourism component and then there's the economic development component where the riders can come off the trails, and the downtowns are ATV friendly. So they can ride off the trails and go right into the downtowns. They can go to the restaurants and eat. And, you know, so it's really capturing those dollars here within the region. And just, you know, we've done a lot of filming recently around the trails, and we're actually going to be doing some more filming here in October. So usually our bigger TV productions and things, that's what they're focused around, is Spearhead Trails. but they're also branching out right now. So some of the filming we're doing is focusing more, of course, focusing on the trails, but focusing more on what there is to do around the trails. So that when we attract people here, they're not just coming for the trails, they also are going out hiking or they're going out kayaking, and they're experiencing the whole picture, maybe seeing that they can stay a day longer, a couple of days longer, and just really enjoy the region as a whole rather than just as the trail system.
Right. And you're actually from Southwest Virginia. Were you born and raised in Southwest Virginia?
I was born and raised in Southwest Virginia. And I was actually born and raised in Washington County over near Abingdon, just a small community. And so I grew up here, and I don't think I really appreciated the region. I think that comes with maybe a little bit of age. Now, I think the younger generation is getting it a little bit quicker than we are. But just, you learn to really appreciate that slow pace of life and that sense of community. And when I moved over into Russell County, which is where I now live, it's, I say all the time that the people just took me in like I was one of their own, and I've never looked back. It's just a great sense of community. And it's just, I really had high hopes to take you all today. I was outside. I had this beautiful background set up for you, but of course the wind interfered with that. So I'm in my car, but I'm sitting here actually looking at this gorgeous view that you all are missing out on. And if you could see it, I don't know if I would even have to answer the question as to why I love it here. So,
well, I can corroborate that fact. I've been out there quite a bit and shot a lot of video, and it is absolutely beautiful out there.
Yeah, it sure is.
Are there any specific experiences that you can remember from when you were growing up that just makes Southwest Virginia feel like home, or something that you couldn't go without?
As far as growing up, maybe not so much, but it's like I said, the sense of community in the small area that I grew up in is, neighbors helping neighbors, and that's really what I remember the most. And it's always like if one neighbor had a problem, the rest of the neighbors would come and just do their best to help, whether it was bringing food or, this is kind of maybe a morbid example, but it's one of the few communities that maybe still exist where if someone passes away, all the men in the neighborhood get together and actually hand dig the grave. And, it's that type of sense of community that holds it together. And just makes it a really special place.
I'm from Roanoke, so not quite as far out there as you guys are, but I also lived in Georgia for about 7 years, and when I lived there was something that I couldn't quite put my finger on, just something that I was missing. And I think it was looking out from, anywhere you are in the valley, or when you're out here in Southwest Virginia, there are hills around everywhere, and almost no matter what direction you look at, you see the hills in the distance and the trees and the clouds coming up over the hills and everything like that. I think it provides a sense of safety in a weird way, or a security blanket kind of. And when I moved back here, that sort of anxiety kind of settled just from having the mountains around and having the scenery.
Oh yeah. And I think I guess it does give you kind of a sheltered feeling to have the mountains surrounding you like this.
Right. So what, other than the community, the strength of the community and people being able to depend on each other, what makes Southwest Virginia a great place for families to move to and decide to raise their kids there and start a career there?
We have some of the best schools, actually, as far as being ranked. We have some of the better schools in the state here, even though they may be, there's sometimes funding issues in these smaller areas, but the schools are just excellent. The safety, the low crime rate. And Spencer, you may not know this, but I also sell real estate in addition to being marketing and media for Heart of Appalachia. And we've really seen an increase in people from out of state wanting to move here, wanting to buy second homes here, maybe wanting to retire here. There's the low cost of living. There's just a lot of things that tie into it. You can buy a house here for much less than you can, say, if you were to go like to the Charlottesville area or something like that. And just really the kind of the wide open spaces. And, you know, I live in the town of Lebanon, just like inside town limits, yet from my front yard, I'm looking out over this beautiful expanse of hayfield and the Clinch Mountain Range. And that's in town. So, you know, I'm walking distance to some restaurants and things like that, yet I still have those beautiful views, and I'm not closed in. So, and really just like we were talking about, the beauty of the region, you know, if people like to hike or bike or kayak, there's just so many opportunities for that here, and to get your kids outdoors and to stay active as you age.
Right. So are there plenty of economic opportunities for people that decide to move here? I know that there's small towns, there's a small town feel, there are things to do. Is there opportunity for people looking to start their careers there?
I think there probably is opportunity, and I think if you really want it and you really want to be here, I think COVID is bringing about some really good changes in that there's more opportunity now to work from home. So you can be here in this beautiful area with a low cost of living, and you can still work from home. And so, which is actually what our office is doing more often than not right now. I've moved people in from major metropolitan areas on the real estate side of things, who are still maybe working like in Atlanta or in Charlotte, but they're living here and they're working remotely. So there's definitely potential for that, but also, like I said, the community just takes you in, and if they see that you will work at it and that you're motivated, it's like the opportunities just kind of offer themselves up.
Awesome. Speaking about your office, what are some of the things that Heart of Appalachia are working on right now?
Right now, like I said, we're kind of marketing from a more regional standpoint, but we're also looking ahead at when people start to really travel again. And I think the overall sentiment is kind of turning back to where people are feeling a little safer as far as traveling. We're focusing more on road trips. So we're getting ready to roll out the Great Appalachian Road Trip. We're working on that right now. So if anyone follows us on social media, it's Heart of Appalachia, of course, on Facebook and Instagram. And you'll be seeing more of me in the future, probably in the coming weeks, as I actually embark on this road trip myself, and to kind of document it and show what we can do in the area. So it would be a multi-day road trip if you chose to make it that, or, you know, just 2 to 3 days at a time, long weekends, things like that. And we're going to cover a whole broad range of things. But we're also kind of focusing, if you've seen the Virginia tourism, the Virginia is for Lovers campaign, they do the love work signs. So throughout the state, you'll see the big love signs. So part of the road trip is kind of centered around those as well, where you go from love sign to love sign throughout the different counties and different communities. So we're tying that into it as well, in addition to the the tastings at the breweries. And we just opened a new moonshine distillery over in Hayside, Virginia, which is just like 10 minutes from the Breaks Interstate Park. So we've been working with them to get the word out. And so the road trip is a big thing that we're working on right now. Appalachian Backroads is one of our major initiatives, and it really promotes our kind of windy, curvy back roads, and it promotes more to the motorcycle riders and sports car enthusiasts. And so as the leaves turn this fall, that really becomes a very, very popular initiative. And we also have our own website and Facebook page for Appalachian Backroads if people want to follow that. We have about 1,500 routes mapped out, or 1,500 miles mapped out, and it's about 14 different routes. So so there's just, you know, a good week of motorcycle riding here if people choose to come and stay.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I actually went out on the back of the Dragon, which is a really popular route out there. And not only is it fun driving around those curves, I was in a minivan, so I can't relate to the sports cars or the motorcycles, but it was still a lot of fun, you know, and really, really beautiful views out there too.
Oh yeah, and you can rent a slingshot to actually take out on back of the Dragon. So next time you come to town, let us know, and we'll see if we can get a slingshot rental to get you out of your minivan and into a fun vehicle.
The slingshot, is that the 2 wheels in front, 1 in the back?
Or runner.
Sorry, what was that?
I said I make fun of your minivan as I sit in my Toyota 4Runner, but that's okay.
Oh. Hey, the 4Runner you can take off-road. Is the slingshot, is it the 2 wheels in front with 1 wheel in the back, kind of like a reverse trike?
It sure is. And one thing I also didn't mention is that people can actually rent the UTVs, like the side-by-sides. If they don't have their own and don't want to make that investment, they can actually go to Southern Gap Outdoor Adventure just outside of Grundy in Buchanan County, and they can rent their own UTV to take out on the trails. And Southern Gap is where you can also do the elk watching. So not many people know that we actually have elk in Virginia, but and especially as we get more into the fall, the elk start to move more, and it's a really good time to come out and do the elk tours or just stay at Southern Gap. They have awesome cabins, beautiful cabins that are just overlooking this beautiful view, and you can go out, you can ride the UTVs, you can see the elk. They actually have full hookups for campers as well. The last time I was there, I actually tent camped, and it was wonderful. We were the only people on the campsite, and it was just absolutely amazing. But you can also rent those at the Western Front Hotel in St. Paul. So several options for rentals in the area if they don't own their own vehicles.
I don't know if I've ever seen an elk in person. I might have to go out there and try that. I don't know about the tent camping. I don't know how I feel about being around the elk in the tent. Did you hear any rustling in the woods?
No, not so much, but I actually have yet to see an elk when I've been over there, but I've always been like in the middle of the day when it's super hot in July, and they're kind of like deer, they kind of move early morning, they move late evening. So I really look forward to going back. They're doing an elk fest in October. So if you go to Wild Buchanan, which is their Facebook page, you can find out more about Elk Fest. And that's when the elk will be basically in full rut. They'll be moving. The bull elk will be bugling, and apparently it's just an amazing sound. So I really look forward to Elk Fest, and anyone who hasn't ever seen the elk really should plan to come out and enjoy that festival. It's in the middle of October. I can't remember the exact date, but again, Wild Buchanan is the Facebook page where you can find out more about that.
I think that sounds like a lot of fun. I might have to make it out for that one.
It might be a good trip down for you.
Absolutely. Anything else that Heart of Appalachia is working on that you want to share with us?
That's pretty much what we're working on right now. I mean, there's always a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. Like I said, we were filming for a commercial last week that will air in 2021. And so we're actually filming a full episode for Destination Polaris in October. And we'll be covering the Breaks Interstate Park. We'll be covering Southern Gap Outdoor Adventure and all the trails that actually connect Southern Gap. So you can stay at Southern Gap. You can get on your UTV or ATV or dirt bike, and you can actually ride into the town of Grundy, or you can ride into the town of Hayside, or you can ride over to the Breaks Interstate Park. So it's all tied together by those ATV trails. And we're going to have the film crew out for about 5 days there, just really covering all the trails and all the communities that are tied to the trails in that area. So that's one big thing that we have on the radar. And of course, ordinarily in the winter, starting like in December, we would go into trade show season where we travel, sometimes to Atlanta, sometimes to DC. We do Chicago. We focus a lot on motorcycle shows and outdoor adventure shows. And so we print 75,000 visitor guides we've just printed them recently. And so people can actually go on our website and request their own visitor guide. But we also put those into distribution throughout the U.S. And we take those to the trade shows where we can actually get out and talk to the people, talk to the motorcycle riders, talk to the people who are into outdoor recreation, and really just pitch the area. And we have a really, really good turnout with the motorcycle riders. We often hear back from people who will email us and say, hey, we met you at a trade show and we came and we just love the back roads and we really want to come back and bring a big group next time. So we almost always, I can actually say always as far as I have seen, just get great reviews from the motorcycle riders.
Yeah, when I was out on Back of the Dragon, I was on one of the overlooks, and I ran into a group of guys out there riding, and they were actually from Germany, and they were traveling in the United States, and they had ridden their bikes from, I think, North Carolina, and they were heading all the way up to Pennsylvania, but they specifically rode the Back of the Dragon because they had heard of that route, and they really wanted to ride it. And I thought that was really interesting that they were all the way from Germany just to, one of the main things they wanted to do is ride the routes here in Virginia.
Oh yeah. And we do have a lot, and Virginia tourism especially is starting to get more into the international marketing. Of course, they pulled back as well during COVID, just because we want to follow the state's requirements and be safe about marketing to tourists right now. Spencer, one other thing that we've seen really pop up in this region is, we've kind of always had a bit of a lodging gap. But Airbnb has really gone a long way toward filling that gap. And I don't know about you, but I love Airbnb. I love the unique lodging that you can find when you travel. And so in watching Airbnbs in the region, people are really utilizing them right now. I think they're probably shying away from the hotels just because of social distancing. And our Airbnbs are just really doing well right now. And we're really happy to see that, because not only does that take our local people and put some money in their pockets, but it also does fill that lodging gap that we tend to have in this area.
Right, yeah, fills that lodging gap, and people from out of state or people that may have never been there, they might experience an incredibly unique lodging experience, maybe find a cabin somewhere or something out in nature that's really nice, or just, again, getting that small town feel from an Airbnb.
Right.
It could be really cool.
Personalized experience with Airbnb as well. So, but we also have like the Western Front Hotel, the Inn at Wise. They're just great downtown hotels, and so we really love to see people support those as well.
Great. So where can people find out more about Heart of Appalachia?
They can visit our website at heartofappalachia.com. They can also follow us on Facebook at Heart of Appalachia. We also have the Appalachian Backroads Facebook page and website, so it's appalachianbackroads.com. So, and just feel free to reach out to us by email or requesting a visitor guide. And it's like, if you're interested in coming to the area, we're happy to help you with your trip planning and make lodging suggestions. We're just here to help.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today. I think we got a lot of great information there. And I think I'll be seeing you at the Elk Festival in October.
And so I really hope to see you there. And I really wish that you all could see what I'm seeing right here, but maybe next time it won't be so windy.
Well, shoot some video for me and send it my way, and I'll put it in there.
Okay. All right, Spencer, you have a great day. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Kim Short. She's so nice and is always excited to share information about what you can do and see in Southwest Virginia. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe to this channel, Project Southwest. For Project Southwest, I'm Spencer Thomason, and I'll see you next time. Take care.